And we are back with Christie, our political analyst, served as governor of New Jersey, ran for president against Donald Trump in 2016, then became an informal advisor before they broke over the 2020 election lies. He's out with a new book, Republican Rescue, Saving the Party from Truth Deniers, Conspiracy Theorists, and the Dangerous Policies of Joe Biden. Chris, great to see you again this morning. I will never forget that election, day after the election, it was early in the morning of the next election, as the president was clearly not going to concede. You broke with him on that day and said, it's over. It must be over. Have you had many conversations with him since?
Had a number of conversations with him from between that night and probably late December, George, of 20. You might recall on this week, I called his legal team a national embarrassment at one point, and he called me very angry that morning and asked me why I was doing that, and I said, because they are, and he didn't really disagree. And that was really our last conversation. As you know, I tried to talk to him on January 6th and couldn't get through to him. But we haven't spoken since then.
The book outlines other disagreements you had with him over the years, even as you served as an advisor, helped him through the debates in 2020 over COVID, over his approach to North Korea. A lot of people wondering, given those disagreements, why did you stick with him for so long?
Well, look, I think, George, you know this. You're never going to agree with everything that everybody does in politics. I think overall, the policies that he pursued were ones that I was generally in line with. But what we need to do is stop looking backwards now, and that's the point of the book, is to say we need to stop looking backwards and start looking forwards to say, what's our party going to stand for? How are we going to be an effective contrast to Joe Biden and the Democrats? And I try to lay out the case for why looking backwards is destructive to the Republican Party's ability to go forward and to be a party that's really competitive.
That's what I just talked to John Carl about. He says that President Trump can't seem to get over either 2020 or January 6th. Do you agree with his judgment that in the end, the president will not run again?
Hard to tell, George, but what I will say is this, that, you know, we as a party have to look at this, and we'd love to have Donald Trump be a productive part of the party going forward, talking about the policies that we disagree with Joe Biden. But if all we're going to do is continue to talk about Election Day 2020 and everything that happened thereafter, that's destructive for our party, and worse, it's destructive for our country. We need to move beyond it and past it. Let's face it, Joe Biden won the election, and I know that's difficult for the president to live with, but he did.
How serious are you about running in 24?
Look, I'll think about it, George. I am thinking about it. But I will tell you that you don't make those decisions, especially after you've done it once. You're not doing it for the experience the next time. You're doing it because you think you can win. And anybody who thinks they can make an evaluation on whether they can win or not now in 2024 is wrong.
What did you learn from running last time?
I learned that there's a lot, that motion is in progress, and that there's a lot of wasted energy in running for president. I learned what things you really should be focusing on. And I also learned that even if you run a really good campaign, sometimes there are forces that are beyond your control that just make it not your time. And I think that's what happened in 2016, not only to me, but to everybody else who was on that stage with Donald Trump.
One of the other things we learn in the book is that bout you had with COVID back in the fall of 2020 was even more serious than most of us knew.
It was, and I didn't want to talk about it at the time because I really didn't want to upset my family anymore. But you know, I did my first interview after I got out of the hospital with you, and it was a very serious thing, and one where, you know, I had a conversation with my wife about how do we prepare if they're going to intubate me to make sure that I get a chance to talk to the children before they do. When you're a father, you know this, that's the most important thing to you in the world. And I feel very, very fortunate that I came through it. And now I feel like I've got to be a voice for trying to bring the country forward too, whether that's as a candidate or just as a leader of my party. And that's what the book tries to start to do. Put the past behind us and let's start going forward and trying to make the country better.
Christie, thanks for coming in today. Republican Rescue is out tomorrow.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.